Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? It's the man-child. Okay, so today up for review, we got some new Spawn figures in, or another new Spawn figure in. Now, I just did the Spawn Plague a couple days ago. This is obviously the new Nightmare Spawn. There's also an Omega Spawn figure coming out, which I have them coming in soon. So pretty much Mcfarlane's putting out some newer, I want to say, Spawn figures that are kind of non-related from your typical Al Simmons Spawn character figure. Now this Nightmare Spawn is a remake from a previous Nightmare Spawn that he did years ago. You know, it looks cool, has a lot of articulation, but to be honest, in hand, it's not what I expected. You know, once we get him out, we'll get into it. But yeah, this is the new Nightmare Spawn. And here's a quick look at the art on the back of the box. Check out that art. That's gorgeous. I'm gonna bring it in for a closer look. Pay attention to this because I'm gonna bring this art back in later to compare to this figure. It's kind of important. Now I also do have the original, that first release Nightmare Spawn that Mcfarlane did years ago, and I'm also going to compare it to this figure, and I'm going to show you the differences of what I'm talking about and why I'm kind of disappointed so far what I see in box once we get him out. But here's a quick look around with the new Nightmare Spawn out of box. So taking a closer look at the new Nightmare Spawn. Of course, we'll check out the head first. Yeah, the eyes are painted green here, typical like a Hellspawn. The pretty cool sculpting on the teeth. Kind of has like some type of grayish or silver highlights. It's got the white all around the face. Really sloppy. It's yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know. Maybe it's meant to be like that because he's all beat up. It's got these 4 spikes on top of his head. They're somewhat soft. Now the articulation go back and forth and go forward and back about that far. Kind of the front. There's the back of the head. The mouth. There's no articulation on the jaw or nothing like that. It's about all you get as far as the head. And moving on to the chest and arms. So as far as the chest, it's his ab crunch. So we can go forward and back, spin left to right. He also has articulation at the waist, pretty tight line, right? And spin left to right. And that can also move forward and back. Has that typical Spawn insignia, that M for, I guess, the Malbolgia. It's painted the same thing. Mine's really chipped. It's not painted well at all. The whole overall body is like a real flat, as you can see, a brownish gray color, almost like rotted flush. So it's different instead of typical, black Spawn. But really, I guess that's what they were going for. It seems it's kind of weird. It's strange to me. I don't know what to think, but maybe this is that's what they were going for. Moving on to the arm. So the right arm, I got a really bad gap in there, very loose with the joint in this arm alone. Now my feet, we'll get to that soon, was the same way. He can't even stand up. I had to use my metal Kaiser stands I use on everything. Really bad with the articulation. I have some joint stiffener I can use, but yeah, this gap is real bad in this side. Anyway, as far as the articulation, forward, back, got bicep swivel, got some spines up on the arm there. Some extra detail here in the more spines on the bicep. Got the double hinge, like a double hinge elbow there. Okay, and go all the way out and in like so. Move like that in and out. You can see the joint there. As far as his bracer here, it's just, it's got some spines. Pretty, kind of a soft material. It's one color. There's nothing silver. Nothing like that. Painted a typical Spawn red or the arm gauntlet, I'm sorry. As far as his hand, he's got that. Okay, he has a hinge joint. We normally have a split. A lot of the newer Spawn figures has like the split ball joint. This is just a regular hinge joint. Now, it does swivel. The fingers are pre-posed in a semi-open position. They don't have any articulation. And moving on to the left arm, same thing. The gap when you start moving the arm is it's really bad. But it is a little different in the right side. Oh no, it ain't. No, it looks the same as far as the spines. A little bit of different sculpting, I guess. Hard to tell, but articulations are all the same. Obviously, this arm is bare. Doesn't have this red, large, typical Spawn arm gauntlet, I want to call it. Does have some other additional spines here. And the hand, too, is also on a, the same type of, no, this is a split joint, this one. I think it's different. It's different from this one, where you can see this is cut into the hand, and this is kind of backwards, or a typical joint. And it can spin, and the fingers are a little bit, that's a smaller hand, actually, I'm sorry. It's actually smaller in this hand, if you can see that. So it is a different hand. So spinning them around, here's a quick look at the back. See all aesthetics and the cuts for your articulation, but of course we're going to focus on the wings real quick. So has sort of pre-posed wings that are more of an in position, obviously not spread out. They are on some type of ball joint there too, it seems like, so they can kind of go up and down, and they do go inside, in and out, which is cool. I didn't expect them to do that. So the wings go all the way back like this, or you can make them look like they're in multiple positions or down. So you do have that, or like they're flapping. See all the detail there, just really one color. I don't even see, maybe a little bit of a wash. It's like that grayish brown color with maybe a brownish wash. Mine has all these little, I don't know, gold overspray or like real sloppy. You can see that. I don't even know what that is. I don't even see anything on the body that has gold paint, but mine's loaded with it all over the wings. Check that out. Anyway, these spines on top, pretty, they're kind of flexible. Don't feel like something you're going to bend's going to snap off. The same thing with all the points on the end of the wings. All right, let's check that out. And they both have a similar design. So flipping them back around again and moving on back to the pelvis and hips, so you can see all the sculpting in there. Yeah, pretty cool. Looks like all rotted flesh and bone. And as far as the leg articulation, mine can go out only about that far. You can even see the pins and joints. Same thing, real sloppy gaps. And let's see, the leg can go forward like this. Go back about that far, and you can go all the way back. Doesn't have any type of boot on here. It does have some spines on the ankles here on both sides. Kind of soft. A little bit different, actually. This only has a couple elongated ones, and this one has 3 instead of 2. Yeah, a little, it's kind of mixed up, but both legs are basically the same, is what I'm saying. And the articulations are all the same. And then you got the feet here. All right, check that out. Also on some type of split, like a hinge joint there, and then go up and down all the way, spin left to right. Has a toe articulation, toe going back like that, and there's nothing, there's no paint on the nails, and both feet are exactly the same. But see, these joints are really loose. And moving on to accessories, it just comes with a typical, the foot stand. Now, I never use these in any of my figures anyway, but I'll just show you. Right, it has holes in both feet. And I'm going to plug this one in like so. And I do have them balancing okay, even with the loose foot. I just had to position them a little bit, but every now and then it'll rock forward, it'll fall backwards because the wings and the ankles are so loose in those joints. All right, so not much else to go over with the figure. We did the articulation of wings, and, you can see the overall aesthetics, the paint, the gauntlets on the wrist, and there's nothing on the legs. So, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm going to bring the art back in. I mean, this art is supposed to represent this figure. It's actually supposed to be this figure, right? Now, you can actually take a closer look at it. I mean, I don't know about you. This art and this figure doesn't look nothing alike. Yes, there's some similarities, of course. But for the most part, yes, like double hinge joints and legs that go back. He doesn't have them. He just has straight, regular spawn legs. Doesn't have a cape. Obviously, this figure's wings is flying. His isn't. They're just folded in. The wrist gauntlet, these giant, awesome gauntlets are missing. Don't even have anything. He has one on the right arm. Doesn't even look anything like that. The head's a little different in this one, where he has like 4 points up here, where he has 2 in the picture. Just everything. The paint, the skull's missing here. I mean, so many things. The feet are different. It's not even close. It's something like this, but it's not that. So I'm going to bring in something for comparison with this figure and this art, and you guys in the comments, let me know what you think, or you may use your own judgment. Okay, so for a little comparison, here's the first release Nightmare Spawn that Mcfarlane Toys released back in 2006 or 7. I don't remember when, but look at the details on that. And look at this guy. I'm pretty sure this Nightmare Spawn is supposed to be a new, modernized, highly articulated version of this character. Now, this is a piece of art. I think this came from a comic book cover. That's what he has the fire and he's floating like that. But if I spin him around, all right, so let's just take a quick look at the two, before we get back. I want to go back to that art. And then I'll spin, all right, just quick look at the back. Check that out. So flipping them back around. All right, let's get this guy out of the way. Well, let me see. All right, so there's our head sculpt there, right? We already looked at that. Let's bring this guy in, take a closer look. Look at that head sculpt. Look at the arm gauntlets. Look at these wings. right? Got the double hinged legs going there, the feet in that position. Now, didn't have a lot of articulation for the day. Did have some, had about several points. I think the waist, the head would move back and forth. It was in a down position. You couldn't like make it look back up, which would be a lot cooler. But look at the art on that. It has a skull in the middle. Right, we said the cape in the back. Check that out. And bringing the art back in with this older Nightmare Spawn figure, what do you say, right? This is what this should represent. This is what you should get, or something like this, but with more articulation. I mean, that's exactly what this is. You can see the arm gauntlets, everything I was showing, the double hinged legs in the back, wings, the cape, the whole deal. All right, so overall, I'm pretty disappointed in this figure, to be honest, and I'm usually very positive with this stuff. The things I collect and review on this channel is the figures that I want in my collection. I'm passionate about. I don't just buy stuff to buy stuff. So I really look forward to these things. I get them in hand. It's like, oh, cool. And even if it has little odds and ends of QC issues, I usually overlook them or try to put a positive spin on it. But this does not look anything or represent anything close to what's on this cover. This guy does 100%. And here you have a modernized, highly articulated version, almost, I'd say, 15 years later to when this figure came out, and this is what you get. Now, if you can overlook this Nightmare Spawn or this art, as ridiculous that is, this figure can be cool, can be its own thing, like some type of Hellspawn minion, has enough collectability, and you had a rotted flesh, and I can overlook the bad paint and loose joints and that stuff, and it does look cool in that sense, but it's definitely not that. And if you're looking for this or that, it's very disappointing. I wouldn't waste your money. And if you can overlook that and just want something creepy cool and some type of weird Hellspawn with wings, like I said, then yeah, go for it. But wow, I can't believe Mcfarlane Toys. I'm shocked by that this is what we got. So just being honest, telling it like it is, and it's my opinion. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until next time, take care.